Okay, so now we're into part two of our frame drawing 3D process here in SketchUp. First part we did our just the basic frame, right? But we have our four pieces of wood that we're building our frame with all put together here. But in real life, we have to use joinery and actually figure out a way to fasten them together so they don't fall apart and do that in the best way. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do now. And we're going to start talking about pocket holes and doing pocket hole joinery. And I'm going to show you how we're going to draw that in and put it into SketchUp. We're going to focus on this one piece down here because we're going to join this piece here on the left and this bottom piece together with pocket hole screws. And we're going to join this piece on the right and this piece on the bottom together on this miter joint also with pocket screws. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that and I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so it's a little clearer here for you to see. All right, move this over. So the first thing I'm going to do, all right, is if we go to the left menu bar in SketchUp, all right, I want to pull out what looks like this measuring tape or this first tape measure tool. Okay, this tape measure tool is very useful because you can put marks down just like using a ruler or a tape measure on any of your drawings and be able to place things real easily for SketchUp to snap to a mark. So we're going to put some marks in where we want to put our pocket holes here. Okay, and this would be the same way we would mark our wood pieces in the shop when we go drill our pocket hole screws there, and you'll see that in the shop video. All right, so we're going to go to the end point here. We're going to let it snap to the end point, give it a second to go there. And I'm going to click once, let go, and then just kind of drag up. All right, and you'll see it says 11/16 here. I don't want that. I want to put in my own dimensions. Okay, so if you look to the right here, I'm going to type in 9/16. So I'm going to go 9/16, and then I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and you'll see there's just a little tick mark or a little marking that it puts there for us at 9/16. I'm going to do the same thing from this point at the top here. So wait until it gets to the end point, it clicks to it. I hit my mouse button once or trackpad button once, let go, and drag this down along this line. Okay, and then I'm going to type in 9/16 again. So 9/16 and enter. So now I have two marks here on my drawing. That's exactly where I want to put my pocket hole screws or drill my pocket hole so I can put my screws in. Okay, so how do I put in pocket holes in SketchUp? Well, this is what's really nice and easy. If we go to the right-hand column here to our components, which is the third one down here, I'm going to click on components. All right, need you to type this in pretty specifically here. We are going to type in pocket hole and a space and 3/4 for 3/4 of an inch. The reason I'm doing 3/4 of an inch is because that's how thick our frame is. Okay, so we're going to do this very specifically. Type in pocket hole 3/4, just as I've done. All right, and the first one that comes up here, okay, should be by Tim D, Craig Pocket Hole. If you float over it, it'll say Craig Pocket Hole 3/4. This is the one we want. Okay, make sure you get this one going. And we're going to click on it. And it brings it right into my drawing. And you'll see it puts my crosshairs right on that dot. What I want you guys to do is when you have that pocket hole in your drawing, drag it right to one of these marks. Okay, I'll drag it to this one first. So we're going to drag that pocket hole right to the mark we just made with the tape measure tool and click once, and it's going to drop that pocket hole right there. Now it's in a weird position, but that's pretty easy to fix. Okay, we're going to go to our move tool, which is this 4 arrows here. Click on that menu. The second one is the rotate tool. So we're going to go to the rotate tool. The rotate tool looks like a protractor that you would find different angles on. Okay, we're going to get that middle point of the protractor right on that dot that we made with the tape measure tool and that we clicked on our piece to drop it right there. And it says origin in Craig Pocket Hole. All right, so we're going to click there And then I'm going to drag over to the right. All right, it's kind of like a handlebar, or I'm just kind of showing you how I'm going to rotate this. So if I drag this over to the right and click again, right, and now I can move my mouse up and it's going to rotate right along that pivot point. All right, I can go back and forth, anything I want to do. See, here I can do it by hand, or I can type in an angle in the lower right-hand corner if I know what I want to do. So I'm just going to click it right here to run it right along this line. And if you look really quickly, the angle is just, we moved it at 90 degrees, which makes sense because it started out this way down here. And if we move that at a right angle or 90 degrees, we're just moving it perpendicular here and getting it right on here. All right, so that's at 90 degrees. I'm going to click again, and now my pocket hole is dropped right into place. Okay, now it looks just like an outline, looks a little bit weird. Okay, I'm going to do the other one, and I'll show you something how to make that look better. Okay, we're going to go back to the components here. Same exact one, Craig pocket hole by Tim D at 3/4 of an inch. Click on it again. It brings it into my model. And again, it's holding on by that dot, that origin point. I'm going to take that dot, I'm going to put it over what we measured with our tape measure tool, that 9/16 mark that we did. And I'm going to click once. Okay, it's going to put that there again, just like it did the first one. Again, we're going to go to our move tools and go to the rotate tool. We'll go right to the origin point of the Craig pocket hole, which is that little dot where we dropped it. Click once, let it go. Then we drag out to the right, click again, and we can rotate it. All right, we're going to rotate it again at 90 degrees. You can type in 90 degrees if you're having a problem shifting it, or you can just do it with your mouse and wait till it's perpendicular and then click on it again. If you want to make sure it's absolutely 90 degrees, I would suggest typing it in. Okay. All right, so you see this one looks a little bit different. Let's go to our select tool. We're going to do something here. So this is highlighted in blue, okay? And what I want to do is click on any one of these blue lines with my right mouse button. Now this is a right click on here, and you get a whole new set of options here on this option menu. We'll talk about these as time goes on, but this one right here, explode. Click on explode, and what that does is it incorporates it into the drawing, and it really looks like a pocket hole now. It's really actually, drilled into your model. Okay, it actually looks like we drilled that hole in. Okay, zoom in there, you can kind of see it. Right, there is a pocket hole there. Pretty cool. Okay, all right. So we're going to do that second one too now. Okay, this one looks different. We got to kind of make it look like this one. So I want to click on my select tool up here. All right, I'm going to click on one of these lines. So this thing highlights in blue. All right, and then make sure you right click on one of these blue lines. And again, we're going to click on explode. All right, when we explode it, it incorporates it into the drawing. And again, we get to see what it looks like if we were to draw these holes or drill these holes in the shop and do our pocket holes in class. Okay, so that's the pocket holes there. Those are the easy ones on the right, actually on the left, I'm sorry. Now we're going to do the ones for the miter joint. This was the butt joint. We got the butt joint together. When we screw this together, it'll hold these two pieces at a right angle, nice and tight. We're going to put glue in there. All right, so now we're going to drop the pocket holes in on this point here. Okay, same process. We're going to go over it again. We're going to get a tape measure tool out. I'm going to click on the tape measure. And I'm going to go right at the point of the miter. Okay, this says end point. When I know I'm right at that point, I'm going to click once. And I'm going to drag my tape measure right along this line of the miter. Okay, and I'm going to type in 2 5/16. So that's 2 with a space and 5/16 and hit enter. So that's 2 5/16. Okay, now I'm going to also, with the little mark that it just made, I'm going to go back to that little mark here at 2 5/16. Click on it once, drag it out along the miter again, and I'm going to drag out 7/8. So 7/8 and hit enter. So now I have 2 markings. one at 2 5/16, and one at 7/8 away from that. Okay, so that's where we're going to drop our pocket holes. All right, we go back to our components again, right to this first one, insert it into the model. We got our point. Let's drop our point on our mark there. Let's do another one. Drop our point right on the mark, right on that guide point. All right, so now we have our 2 pocket holes, and now we'll rotate them into the position we want. I'm going to show you how to rotate those. It's the same as before, but this is the way we're going to rotate these pieces. All right, let's click on this origin here. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to rotate this way, 90 degrees. And this one's actually 45, I'm sorry, because we're doing it on a miter. So it's not 90, we're just going at 45 degrees because of the miter. We'll click again. We'll click on this one here, right at its guide point or the origin of the pocket hole. All right, hold on, made a mistake here. What we want to do, I'm going to hit escape. I'm going to get out of this. This one's selected. It's highlighted in blue, so any movement I make will only do it to this one. I need to select the other pocket hole. So go to my select tool, the top tool here. Click on this pocket hole here on one of the lines so that it is highlighted in blue. So now any changes I make will only occur to the one that's highlighted. I go back to my rotate tool over here. All right, I'm going to click on the origin point of the pocket hole. All right, drag out my little handlebar here, click it again, and then do another 45. And click. Okay, so now I have 2 pocket holes here. And we're doing those at a 45-degree angle because they got to go right into this piece right here. Okay, so that's how we're going to draw it. All right, now we need to do the process again where we explode it. So we'll go to my select tool, right on any of these blue lines. I'm going to right click explode. All right, I'm going to click on this guy here. So he's highlighted in blue, and then right click on him and hit explode. All right, so those are 2 pocket holes right there. Exactly how we would do it in class when we drill our pocket holes, and I'll show you in the shop video. All right, but that's how we drag and drop components into our drawings when we need them. So we didn't have to draw those pocket holes, we just had to copy and paste them. Very convenient. All right, but this is exactly how the back of our frame is going to look when we decide to do it in class. Okay, make sure you save your work. All right, and the next video we'll talk about doing dowels. All right, take it easy.